PlayStation could be implementing cross-buy. An interesting picture has shown up going across the internet. It has a lot of people talking. What could this mean? We will go over that. We have a brand new drop of Xbox Game Pass games. Nintendo Switch 2 is selling insanely well. Not that shocking comparatively to what we've seen with the Nintendo consoles, with the Switch 1 and everything, although people would have thought the price may have deterred others from buying it. We have some Xbox and Call of Duty news in terms of the PC specs and everything that you're going to need to be able to play this game on PC when it does end up dropping. And the ROG Xbox Ally X is still out of stock. It's still hard to find for a lot of people in different countries. So it looks like that thing did sell pretty well at launch. But before we do get into it, if you enjoy daily gaming news and content, hit the subscribe, share, like all that stuff. But for now, let's get into it. So we're going to start off here with a pretty big news story that came onto Twitter yesterday, and it looks like PlayStation could potentially be getting into cross-buy between the PlayStation 5 and PC. Now, none of this is confirmed. This is simply, from what I understand, unless we're being completely led astray or bamboozled or any of those things, from a data miner who found some symbols in the back end of the PlayStation 5 to indicate that there are symbols there that could be showing us the future of PlayStation, which would mean cross-buy. This all started with a screenshot that showed up. I originally saw it from the Tyducks account. If you don't know that account, it has given information before leaks and stuff that have come true. It also showed up on Zuby Tech's account, but the original person I think that did find this is this account right here. And I had to do a little bit more digging on this because I had people in my comments when I first tweeted this out with the picture of the cross-buy thing saying that it was fake and all of that, but I do not believe it is. And this person here, Amethyst, put this out here, and you can see that there is the cross-buy symbol there. Well, I guess originally this is the exact picture that was being sent around for a lot of people to see, which caused the entire discussion to come to fruition. It was this here. You can see cross-buy, PS5, PC, and then other symbols that were found, I believe, in the back end of the PlayStation 5. And he puts this video out saying, I didn't think this and Zuby Tech's post would go viral. So the screen is real. See the video below. The symbols are present on the PS5, not the PlayStation 4. The symbols are official Sony fonts, and he gives the actual UF code. So, I mean, really being thorough here to prove this. And then you can see them yourself by searching for My ID, and he gives his PlayStation ID. So it does seem like this entire thing is real. It's from the PlayStation backend, and it would indicate that cross-buy could be coming in the future for PS5 and PC. Now, we have heard rumors that PlayStation was working on a PC app. I think if they were going to be doing something like this, it would be them building out their own app. And then if you wanted to get that cross-buy where you're getting both the PC version and the PlayStation 5 version, you'd have to buy through PSN, through their ecosystem, similar to what Xbox does, or basically exactly what Xbox does, copying them in that Xbox Play Anywhere thing. And I think that would be amazing. I think it'd be extremely consumer-friendly, and gamers should be hoping that this does happen. This is a great move if PlayStation does end up doing this. Now, I know this isn't the first time cross-buy has been implemented from PlayStation, because back with the PS3 and the Vita, which I had a Vita, I had a PS3, there were some games that had cross-buy. I don't think it was a feature that was widely implemented. There was like the All-Stars, PlayStation All-Stars game, which is that Super Smash Brothers clone that had cross-buy. I don't know how many other games did end up having it, but it was a small feature and they tried it there. But I do think this is different, because this is the first time that you would see PlayStation allowing people to branch out and play a PlayStation game by buying it once on a piece of hardware that they did not build themselves, not a first-party piece of hardware, because obviously PC you'll be playing on various different things. So if this does happen, this would, to me, really show that PlayStation is, as we've talked about for many years, following in the footsteps of that Xbox ecosystem in many different ways. It started with putting games onto PC. They've put their games, or some of their games, onto Xbox itself. Will more be coming in the future? We don't know. And now it looks like if this does happen, if this does end up coming true, this isn't just something that's in the back end of the PlayStation data, that they have their just in case and they never actually end up acting on it, it would basically be following in those footsteps by giving you the Play Anywhere PC console. And I do predict, this is just my guess, because we've heard rumors that the PlayStation Portal is going to allow you to play your games via the cloud, not just through the remote play, that they may even open this thing up to literally follow what Xbox is doing, which is giving you cloud access on any device. Maybe that PC app is going to expand out to your phone app that's currently on there where, hey, there'll be a cloud button to play some of your own games on your phone if you want to. I can absolutely see that happening. The industry is changing. PlayStation is changing with it. They are doing things to get more people to access their ecosystem and to play their games. They just have to because of the development costs. If they want to continue to make these massive blockbusters, more people need to play and access PlayStation because the console, yes, it sells well, but generation to generation, it's basically the same. And as we can see with everything that's happening within the industry, that just isn't cutting it. We're seeing closures, cancellations, layoffs, all of that stuff. More people need to play these games so that they can get better margins and make more money. So I really hope this does happen. We've heard the rumors about the PC app, so I do believe this is something we will see in the future. The other big thing that I did think about when we first started seeing this is if PlayStation makes their own PC app, their own specific PC app, will you actually be able to access this on the next Xbox? I would assume yes, via the PC side of the Xbox, because this will be obviously accessible via Windows. And if you load up the PC hybrid and you're loading up the Windows side of it, you're probably going to be able to get into that PC app as well. So lots of interesting stuff here. The discussion online has just been wild. Whenever I post anything about Xbox, PlayStation, like the replies are actually hilarious at times. But yeah, I do think this is real. We'll see if PlayStation does end up announcing this. I could see this being a massive announcement in 2026 at the PlayStation Showcase. And this would just be a win for all gamers. So fingers crossed that this does come true. We also got another drop of Xbox Game Pass. The big highlight here, of course, is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So I'll quickly just go through the stuff coming to Game Pass in the next couple of weeks here. The big one, day one on Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass is Call of Duty Black Ops 7 on November 14th. We got that confirmation that nothing is releasing early. There is no early campaign release, no early zombies release. Kind of disappointing because I would have loved to play through the campaign first. Then when the full game launches, jumped into the multiplayer. Next up, we have Dead Static Drive on November 5th to Ultimate and PC. This is another day one game, and it's an indie survival horror game. You're taking a trip across a 1980s Americana. So if you like that setting, I guess you could say, then you'll want to jump into that. Another day one game dropping into the service. Sniper Elite Resistance going to premium on November 5th. You have Egging On November 6th to Ultimate and PC. We looked at this one on a couple of episodes ago. You're playing as an egg and you're trying to get the egg to break, which is actually interesting. I will try this one out. You have Whiskerwood November 6th to Ultimate and PC, another day one game. They say establish a home for your industrious mice under the oppressive paw of your cat overlords in the City Builder. So it's a City Builder game. Void Train going to Ultimate, PC, and Premium on November 7th. Great God Grove on November 11th, which is going to Ultimate, PC, and Premium. You got Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris on November 11th to Ultimate, PC, and to Premium. Pigeon Simulator. There's so many simulator games that are coming out, and they seemingly do well, and people enjoy them. Pigeon Simulator sounds like another interesting one. November 11th to Ultimate and PC, and that is also a day one game. I don't really think I need to read the description on that one because that is exactly what it says. You are playing as a pigeon. Relic Hunters Legend, November 12th to Ultimate, PC, and Premium. And then you have Winterborough, November 12th to Ultimate and PC. And this is another day one game in a survival game. Your Winterborough is a cozy woodland survival game where you play as a mouse returning to your childhood home. So big launch of games here, especially on the day one front. Yes, majority are indie, but of course you have Call of Duty Black Ops 7 day one. And indie games, they have some of the most creative stuff. I mean, you look at the games that are releasing day one in this slate, so they all sound very creative, very different. Something for everybody there to jump into, especially even playing as an A going through an obstacle course. All right, the Nintendo Switch 2. We know that this, when they announced it, it was controversial because of the price tag. Now, $450, you sit back and you take a look at the handhelds that are out, that are coming out. It's actually not a terrible price whatsoever. But because of the price of the first Nintendo Switch, people were up in arms and they thought the Switch 2 was not going to sell well, all of that stuff. That clearly has not been the case. In fact, the price has had no effect at all on the sales of the Nintendo Switch 2. It's selling better than the Nintendo Switch 1. So good so far that they continue to clear 10 million units. So this is more than the PS4, more than the PS5. The Nintendo Switch 2 is just doing absolutely crazy numbers here. They say that's more than the original Nintendo Switch, which sold 4.7 million, the PlayStation 4, which sold 7.5 million, or the PlayStation 5, which was at 7.8 million, that they all managed during their first 2 quarters on sale. And the PS5 and everything, although yes, the stock was constrained, there was during the pandemic, so people had even more incentive to try to go out there and buy as them because they really had nothing else to do. But the Switch 2 comfortably comes in as the top selling console within the first 2 quarters at 10 million units. Just insane, insane. Now, because of this, they're actually increasing their forecast for their first year target. They say here that they're increasing it, I believe, from 15 million as a target to 19 million units within the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2 on sale. And it is comfortably outselling the Nintendo Switch 1 launch aligned and everything. And we still have Metroid Prime 4 coming out this year. I know a lot of people who don't have a Switch 2 may think that the lineup is weak, but the first year lineup, because it's only 6 months, you have to keep that in mind for the Switch 2, I think has actually been very good. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon ZA. Like that is a very strong 6-month first party release lineup for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I think that is a big reason why it's selling. I think Pokemon as well has probably pushed a lot of units out there for people to want to go out there and buy, because they did have a bundle with that game as well. But I'm really looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. Donkey Kong Bonanza was phenomenal. Mario Kart World is Mario Kart. If you're a fan of that game, you're going to absolutely love that. So Switch 2 has been great. I enjoy it. I really do like my Nintendo Switch 2 after my Xbox and PC, where I go back and forth because I'm playing through the Xbox ecosystem and Game Pass. Switch 2 is easily the platform that I put all the rest of my gaming time into, especially in the handheld mode. I'm finding that is becoming more and more useful as I get older and my life becomes busier and busier. Speaking of handhelds, the ROG Xbox Ally X continues to prove that it has been pretty popular, as there are stock issues that are persisting. I was actually looking at Best Buy the other day to see if it was in stock, because I thought it was, because you could still click add to cart. But what I did not realize is that you can't buy the ROG Xbox Ally X right now, and you won't be able to for a while. When you add it to cart and check out, it's for back order, and who knows when that's coming. People are saying December is when the next time you'll be able to get one of these devices, when the next shipment comes in and the next amount of inventory is ready to go. So it's been pretty popular, and we don't know how many they actually made. I would assume it's not like a massive amount of them, because it is still a luxury product. $1,000, you are going to be pushing into a smaller and smaller market as the price does go up. But they're sold out, and we've heard a lot of talk about the handheld space, and do people really want the over $1,000 ultra powerful handhelds? The answer is yes. Everything that has come out over $1,000 has sold out. Lenovo Legion Go 2, you have the ROG Xbox Ally X, which is $1,000, but with tax and everything, it'll be over. They're all selling out, and you can, I would say, bet that the market analysis on this is that they're going to continue to make more of these expensive devices. You have the GPD Win 5 coming out, which is very expensive, and many others that are going to be over $1,000. But we do have this here, and there's some posts on Reddit here talking about don't buy from scalpers, because they will be bringing these back in stock. And they clearly will, because sometimes you go on websites and if it's sold out, you can't even back order it. You can back order these. So I'm sure in their back end, they know when Asus and Xbox will have these ready for the next shipment. But it says here, give it a few weeks and it'll be good. It's not worth to give the money to the scalper, which I absolutely agree. Don't let the scalpers win. Someone in another Reddit post just said the UK residents order from Amazon France, so you could do that as well. And I'm thinking here, as I said, there will be more coming here in December. And like I said, I went into my Best Buy. They had none in store. They had none online. Anyone in Canada, at least, who is still looking to buy them. But I am hearing grumblings that December will be the day that it does. Will they get more shipments? And finally, we do have this, and this is Call of Duty Black Ops 7, the PC specs and the handheld specs, because this game is going to be optimized for handhelds, which is great, especially with the Xbox devices out and the other handhelds that are dropping. You'll have a great experience with Call of Duty on a handheld because they optimize their games relatively well. You even take a look at the game on the Xbox Series S and how good the game runs there with the frame rates and everything. So you'll have a good time on the handheld itself. But here are the specs. The minimum spec here, I'll just go over the GPU is the AMD Radeon RX 470 or the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970 or the Intel Arc A580. You'll need at least 3 gigabytes of video memory. And then you'll have to have at least a Ryzen 5 1400, Intel Core i5 6600, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. For the highest 4K ultra competitive and everything, you'll want to have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X or the Intel Core i7 10700K, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of video memory, or an AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT or a GeForce RTX 4080 or 5070. And then they say here for the PC handhelds that it runs on most Windows-based handhelds, optimized visuals and performance for on-the-go play, sharper text for smaller screens, and smart power and battery optimization. What I find super interesting is this column. And I don't think this is just because Call of Duty and Activision are Xbox developers, and with the Xbox handheld out there, that they would want to specifically put something in there for the PC handhelds. I think that the industry is seeing how popular these handhelds are becoming, more and more flooding the market, that we will start to see more games include this on their spec sheet as to whether it does work for the handheld itself. And you'll start to see more and more developers optimize their games so they can work on the vast range of PC handhelds that are out there on the market. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.